Sewerage Water Board is hiring another company to do an independent analysis of its now infamous billing issues.
Our Down the Drain team has uncovered thousands of billing problems at the Sewerage and Water Board over the last year, and the agency has vowed to work with its contractors to fix them. Investigative reporter David Hammer joins us now to explain this newest wrinkle.
Yeah, Todd and Natalie, it's an interesting move. Today, the Sewerage and Water Board announced a $149,000 contract with Baton Rouge-based UtiliWorks to assess its whole billing process, from how they read water meters to how they handle disputes. The original contractor, Cogs Dale, was paid $3 million to set up a new billing system in 2016 and another $168,000 this year to fix the massive problems with inflated bills. The agency says Cogs Dale's work remains unchanged, but it was important to have, quote, an independent third party take an unflinching assessment of the entire billing process.
Idea of bringing a third party that's got to now learn our system again and correct what happened between the last 3 directors in Cogs Dale. It sounds like an expenditure of a lot of money with not a guarantee of a result.
Now, Sewerage and Water Board Director Gaston Corbin said, quote, at the Sewerage and Water Board, we are facing the billing challenges head on and working tirelessly to resolve them for our customers. UtiliWorks will provide that independent assessment vital to enacting any meaningful change to how we do business. Now, earlier this week, Cogs Dale told the City Council it was not informed of problems with teaching Sewerage and Water Board employees how to use its billing software. UtiliWorks is expected to complete its work in January.
Interesting move, David. Thank you.